Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Gex Enter the Gecko. In the last episode, there was not much left that we could do. And it's now on to no weddings and a funeral, which is a Rhizopolis stage. Kind of like that one bonus level that we did that involved tail bouncing on that cog wheel and destroying all those bugs. And there's only one red remote here. Penetrate Rez's inner sanctum. Now, despite the fact that there is only one red remote, there is still a reward remote and a hidden remote. For the reward remote, I can't speak this morning. I'm doing this like at 9 something in the morning. For the reward remote, you have to collect all of the collectibles. And there is very little room for error. And while you can tail whip enemies to defeat them, they will not leave any collectibles. You have gears, then toolboxes, and then oil cans in order of tiers. And with these, oh wow. First of all, you want to make sure you get all those. And two, you want to stand on these loudspeaker platforms, so that way they rotate to where you want them to go. They will bounce in the other direction if they hit a wall, though. And when you get over here, the camera will zoom in towards this little porthole that leads to another area. Now you'll be in a leisure suit, kind of like at a disco. There's a mirror here. You step on one, you step on the green light. If you mess up one part at any time, you're going to have to do the whole thing over. But if you do it right, you get to break the mirror and continue on. It won't be the last time we see such a puzzle either. So the reward remote, you're collecting things. Every collectible that you find will be out in the open, which means you can't die to beat up enemies to get pickups like you could in other areas, so you have to be really careful here. And watch out for these fans because they will blow you away if you are near them when they are on. Wait for them to stop moving, wait for the air to stop coming out, and you'll be good to go. Now, we are in this area. We want to look all around in this area, because we will be able to get an extra life here and some pickups. But if you rotate the camera around, you'll notice that there is a hidden remote here. I told you there'd be a hidden remote. Go ahead and grab it. And speaking of grabbing things, we have now gotten our way to tier 2. And we should be able to make it back. There we go. Kind of interesting what messages are on the side of this platform. From left to right, it's your work is where you live. It's why you live. Your work is why you live. 30 days in the cooler for talking, and no thinking, I am always watching you. So Rhizopolis is even more of a dystopia than it was in the first game. And you even see it in some of the messages on the wall, like not an exit, no one leaves, and yours is mine. And if we just tail bounce on this guy, we'll just go ahead and get rid of him. Another one, Rex sees all. And this is the part where you start seeing the conveyor belts that move towards the fans, and you want to be careful. Also, despite the fact that the caution tape patterns move where you're supposed to go, these little sticky walls are not conveyor belts, so don't worry about that. And these things are shooting projectiles. So thankfully, when you hit one of these things, you'll never have to deal with them again.
You are my secret friend.
And I'm going to look around just to be safe, because you have so little margin for error with the collectibles. I mean, there's like a surplus of only 4. And you want to be careful when you're in this room, because if you get one wrong, you'll always get a droid that will pop up, and you'll have to defeat it in case you don't want it to give you a hard time. But at least you can always try again. It's not like you get hurt for messing it up. And by hitting this cog with the tail bounce, we are able to raise the loudspeaker platform in the pool of static, which will hurt you. You don't see a lot of static in this game compared to the first game. Matter of fact, enemies don't even turn to static when you kill them, which is kind of weird. I can go ahead and skip that collectible. It's not really worth going back for. Where are you? There you are. I was waiting for you to turn off. And we are now on tier 3 of the collectibles. And at least I dropped down there. At least I didn't drop into static, or... well, technically the static and the beginning of the section are technically the same. But at least... I don't have to worry too much about... I should have known that was gonna happen. There we go. Took a little bit of damage, but that's alright. Thankfully, I had that extra hit in the form of one of the flies from the green monitors. So I was able to get that back. I will have to be more patient on the second conveyor belt, though. And I don't know why Gex didn't want to get up the wall there and get on safer ground, but this game does have its quirks, I guess. And I'm gonna long jump here just to ensure that I get to this area.
500 channels and still nothing on.
And I'm going to hit the continue point. Now, you can't actually grab these things. It's just that the way the static moves on these platforms move, you basically have to keep going in a counterclockwise direction in order to keep from being zapped by the pulls of static as you're grabbing these things, and as you are jumping from one platform to another too. That also becomes a factor in getting through this part. You may get hit from jumping into the static accidentally at least once. Thankfully, there is a hit you can grab in case that happens at the end. Just be sure to hit the continue point before you do this part anyway, okay?
Don't make me take my tongue out.
That way you don't have to go through a whole lot just to get back here. And we still have more. And that was a pit. I did not think that was a pit. That was weird. I never fell in there in the practice run. That's why that was so weird for me. Imagine my surprise. Anyway. Huh, you can do a regular jump. I just do a long one just to be safe. At least I know better at this point. But speaking of knowing better, I can probably miss that one. No use going back for that collectible. And I do want to rotate the camera a little bit, because there is another one of these platforms that slowly moves up and down, and I want to get on it. Check the shadow. All should be well. Also, a lot of stuff going on with the platforms here, and I have to get on here in order to one, get on these platforms. And if you could stop shooting at me, that would be great. Well, at least I had an extra hit. But now I can finally get rid of you. I said I can finally get rid of you. At least I can get that hit back. Also, this is a conveyor belt. I mean, you can kind of tell just by looking at it because we've seen the conveyor belts before, but just saying.
Sweet, like candy.
And after a few more conveyor belts, we should be able to make it to here. Be ready to jump on that second conveyor belt just to stay against the wall there, so that way you aren't given a hard time. Not exactly my preferred way of getting past that fan, but that's alright. Also, I keep forgetting to talk about these platforms. You do have to hit all the buttons with the tail bands to get them to work. I also forgot to talk about these things too. These little static fields that the platforms come out of. And wow, that actually gave me a hard time. Yeah, you can't jump into the static, you just gotta wait for the platforms to pop up. And this should be the doorway to the final room. So anyway, those pepperoni button platforms, you gotta hit all those buttons quickly or else they're gonna pop, those buttons are gonna pop back up. Also, besides getting the reward remote, we are now looking at the altar of Rez, where apparently everybody is forced to worship Rez, judging by the electrocution zaps and the straps on the chairs and everything. And everything's wired. This is indeed a dystopia. Okay. I guess because I defeated like some extra droids in that second disco platform room, I probably got some extra collectibles I didn't expect. But most of the collectibles are going to be out in the open. So anyway, you just want to get on that platform and then just go over here. We got the reward, we got the hidden, we got the red. We're out of here. And that took over 10 minutes, I'm surprised. But by doing this one, and getting everything here, let's go ahead and update the save. And we get another level, Chips and Dips. That is a bonus level for a gold remote. That will be our 12th and last. But to get over there, we need to go back to the entrance to this area and drop our way down. And I believe we need to take the right platform from here, because that's how we're going to do it. Chips and Dips will be right across from Pain in the Asteroids. We handle this, we will get the final gold remote. And once again, we find items. In this case, it's going to be 59 volt batteries. And you want to grab the things here before getting charged up and using those platforms. Otherwise, you're going to be wasting valuable seconds. And you do always want to look around before you continue on. Always. Now to get up here. And then to grab these 8. Now if I can get up there to the wall, I'll be able to latch on. And there will be a whole trail of 9 volt batteries that I need to follow. This will make it a little easier for me to not worry about having to collect stuff. Now, We could go this way, but there is another one that we can go to. And if we do that, there will be some more that we can grab. I'd rather get there this way than dropping down from the top area. And you do want to grab those nevertheless, because
Pardon my tongue,
it does make it easier for you to get the gold remote, especially near the end. Also, we want to leap this way, so that way we don't get ourselves all confused. Alright. Now it's time
Sure, and I have the whole set.
to drop down here. And if we drop to the left, I believe we'll land on another platform. There we go. Do we drop down to the right here? Yes, we do. Hey, we're doing stuff. Now we don't have to get any of the things on these Cubert platforms. In case you are forced to get the batteries on these platforms, try to make it up to the top first and then let the charge run out, and then drop your way down. If you try to make your way up and grab stuff at the same time, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. So don't do that. Also, you want to use the camera to look around. You want to use the camera to look around, so that way you can reach these platforms. Thankfully, they always rotate to the left, so once you find one, just go in that direction. And then when you see the platform, you should be able to get onto it. Now you think that will be the end of it, but the game messes with you by doing one more thing. Just walk up to the platform, keep going forward. When you're going to the charge up, you'll bound all the way up and forward, and then you can just make your way around and grab the gold remote. And that is how you do chips and dips. I wouldn't say it's really easy, but it is easier when you know what to do. And I'm going to go ahead and do a manual save to see how I'm doing. I have the strange feeling that I'm probably going to hit 97. 97. And we opened up one more secret level where the other two secret levels are Mazed and Confused. This is the final place that we have to go to. If we beat this, all that's left is Res. We are now getting very close to the end. And I am amazed by that. And there are 2 red remotes instead of 1. And we're gonna go for those in the next video. Join me next time where we take on Mazed and Confused, the final Rhizopolis level, as well as the final regular level of sorts in the game. And then we take on Res, because there's nothing left. There's really nothing much left to this game. We're at 97%. What else can we do? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!